Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So the first Descendant Season 2 I think has been amazing so far. I'm really enjoying my time in this game, and I know people have their gripes with Nexon. In some cases it's very rightfully so, but in this case specifically, I think these developers are doing so much good by this game. I used to be one of those players who wasn't too happy about just how frustratingly grindy the game was, and it really was grindy. I mean, I know that's just the kind of game that it is, but it felt a little bit too rough, you know what I mean? It was very layered, without much of a guarantee of getting what you actually wanted. But if I'm being completely honest, this game has my stamp of approval at this point. I've been having such a good time in the first Descendant. The devs have taken a lot of steps to make it more fun and a little less grindy, which I think is smart if they're trying to get people in the store. Let me put it to you this way. I used to think that unlocking even just one ultimate Descendant through grinding was a pipe dream. I'd maybe get one ulti every few months, and that was with a committed grind. We're currently, 3 weeks into Season 2? And ever since this season began, I've collected 7 out of the 8 ultimate Descendants the game has, and that's all through grinding. I haven't spent a single dollar on a new character, which I think is exactly how it should be. The cosmetics and the paints and the spawns, all that flashy stuff, that I can understand spending some cash on, but just to play the game with a character that you want to try out, I could not justify dropping $100 on Ultimate Bunny. In the game's current state, if you know how to budget your time and you're setting realistic goals for yourself, you can easily get an Ultimate Descendant in 2 or 3 days' time, and that's taking into account the grind for the blueprints and the time it takes to cook them up in crafting. The game is in a solid state right now, much like my hard drive, and I'm loving the time I get to spend in it. Ultimate Sharen is probably my new favorite Descendant to play as. Area Suppression is such a good module, man, for mobbing, and she deletes bosses' health bars with the high crit rate. I've actually spent more time grinding to max out my Blue Beetle than I did grinding for Sharen parts, and that's including the 180 or so items that you need to craft her parts. I'm forgetting the name of the material. It's the one that you have to grind Old Mystery or Biolab for over and over again, but it wasn't even that bad. I got all the materials in less than 2 hours. And that's exactly what I mean. The game is just in a really, really good spot right now. Season 2 has been a blast. That new Void Vessel mission is everyone's new happy place. I think they did a great job in that new map, and the flow of the mission is really nice. At first I thought it was a little lazy, having the same map every single time, but the way the route changes every time you do the mission, it keeps it fresh, and it's a decent challenge even on hard mode, even with a full squad. That new Volsha beam rifle has been pretty much essential for that mission, and it's nice that they gave it to everybody through the battle pass. I also love how the skin for that gun changes the beam's color from blue to yellow. The first time I saw it, I thought it was a different weapon altogether. It's very strong when it's maxed out though, and it's a welcome addition to the arsenal. Keelan is also a welcome addition. He's the newest Giga Chad to grace the battlefield, and he's been a lot of fun to play. I like how he's kind of a combination of Bunny and Freyna in terms of attribute. I mean, he doesn't play like either one of them, but he's a toxic speedster, so kind of a combination. And that passive ability that lets him run faster is actually really clutch, especially paired with something like the Thunder Cage. It's been fun trying to find a good build for him. He definitely revolves around the ability cooldowns, just so he can get that onslaught skill back fast. And I mean, that's really the case for all the characters. I'm at the point in the game now where I'm more focused on finding specific builds that work best for every character and trying to play to their strengths. It's why I spent so much time maxing out the Blue Beetle, so I could get Sharen skills to hit the critical hit rates. It basically guarantees a critical hit every single time you use a fusion skill, and it's perfect for Ultimate Sharen. Specifically, it's good for area suppression, because the more crits you get, the more that ability cools down. And if you've already got like Nimble Fingers and all those other modules that extend the skill cooldown, you're basically getting the ability back every single time you use it, and you can just spam the area suppression non-stop. It's insane how much damage she does. Freyna used to be my go-to character for melting bosses just because the Toxic was so good at doing that residual damage, but at this point, I think Sharen is actually better than Freyna, specifically at taking out bosses. I think Freyna and Bunny, I would say, are probably still S tier as far as mobbing is concerned, but Sharen is up there too. I'd say she's a high A. I've been experimenting with MP Collector on her build. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. There are times when the magic is, or the mana, whatever it's called, that the resource that you need to use the skills, I find myself running out of it pretty quickly sometimes, but MP Collector kind of helps mitigate that. So yeah, Sharon's been a blast, Keelan's been great, the Void Vessel's been awesome. Oh yeah, the new doggo. Dude, these fellows are so nice. I love having the dog. The fact that it goes and fetches you the things that are out of reach is so nice. You don't have to walk away from whatever you're doing just to go pick up an item. He'll go get it for you. And the names that I've been seeing in the game are hilarious. I think the first dog that I saw somebody had was named Cat, and it made me laugh out loud. There's Jabba the Mutt. Yeah, I've seen some really good ones, man. These dogs are awesome. This was such a good addition. And the fact that they have it sort of set up the way that they have the Descendant set up, it makes me think that they're going to get more fellows over time. I don't know if it's always going to be a dog. Maybe it could be something else. I don't know. Maybe we'll get like a pet grizzly bear or something at one point in the future. But I think it's a great addition. That's one of the best additions that Season 2 has offered so far. And the vibes in the game have just felt really solid. It feels like everybody is having a pretty good time. I mean, Albion, other than turning into Christmas Town, it's become a freaking dance party, man. I see people having dance-offs with that one emote from the Battle Pass. It's just been a lot of fun. It's all positivity here. Let's see, what else? We've also got the advanced shape stabilizers, which I think is one of the best new items that Nexon has introduced in this game, period, because it really helps with the grind. That's partly why getting Ultimate Descendants is a lot easier now. I mean, when you've got those drop rates of 3%, 6%, coming out of those amorphous materials, it's tough, you know? You look at those numbers and you think to yourself, man, I'm never gonna hit that. That's such a low percentage. And then the advanced shape stabilizer just flips it on its head and you get those parts at 32%, 38%. It's so much easier. You have to be kind of wise with what you spend those advanced shape stabilizers on just because they're so limited. But it looks like ETA cycles them every single weekend. Ever since they introduced the item, every time I go to the ETA shop, I notice that he has at least 2 of them. And the devs did say that they're going to consider adding more through events. So it's not like it's completely limited, but you do still have to be wise with what you spend it on. And then there's those times where you use it and you still don't get what you want, and it kind of feels like a bit of a waste. But on paper, I would say in general, the advanced shape stabilizers are A+ content. That was a great idea. On top of that, I also appreciate the reworks that they made to the reward system in the special operations. Man, the first time I did a special operation and I noticed that I got 5 of the advanced code analyzers, I thought to myself, like, whoa, this is crazy good. This is such a good rework to the reward system, because the way it used to be is every time you would finish a set of waves and you got to those intermittent rewards, you would only get 1 item out of that select list of rewards that you could earn. It was usually gold too. Like if you were trying to farm a certain amorphous, even that was kind of rare to get sometimes, but now you could potentially get 5 in one go, and earning them in bulk like that, it's really, really nice. It helps with the grind. Also considering that some of those amorphous do contain Ultimate Descendant parts, it's just all of it is really coming together. You know, the fact that you get more rewards in one go, the fact you've got the advanced shape stabilizers to help you earn the reward that you actually want, it just makes that layered grind a lot more manageable, I think. And that's why I said in the beginning that if you set realistic goals for yourself and you budget your time wisely, earning anything in-game is very realistic now, where before it really didn't feel that way. It felt like you would maybe get an Ultimate Descendant once a month, you know? It doesn't feel like that now. I mean, I'm 7 out of 8 Ultimate Descendants in. I'm only missing Ultimate Ajax at this point, and I'm 2 out of 4 parts towards him already, so he's coming very soon. My last video on the first Descendant was back when Ultimate Freyna first dropped, and even then I was saying that the game has made a lot of positive steps towards becoming a better experience for the player. So the fact that it's taken even more steps from then, it's really doing well by the player base, and I think the devs have done a great job with it. I mean, the player numbers speak for themselves. At one point, the game was barely hitting 9,000 players on Steam, but ever since Season 2 dropped, that player count has basically doubled. I mean, it's just hovering under 20,000 players on Steam alone, mind you, basically every single day. I mean, like 18,000, 19,000 is about the average, and that's really solid, I think. It's probably even higher on consoles. I personally play on PlayStation 5, and there's always people in Albion. There's never a point in the game where it's dead, even late at night. Sometimes matchmaking can take a little long. especially on missions where it feels like most people don't play them. I can't really give you an example off the top of my head, but very rarely do I ever have to wait longer than 60 seconds to matchmake into a mission. It's been really, really nice. Season 2 is still going to be going on for the next couple of months here. I mean, we got Keelan this month and Ultimate Sharen as well. In January, we're going to be looking forward to Enos, who's going to be the newest Descendant coming out here. She's going to be another electric area of effect Descendant, so basically Bunny 2.0. I'm sure she's going to play a lot differently than Bunny, just to give some variance between the two characters, but I'm very excited for Enos. I love that the devs keep adding new content to grind for. It's what they need to do. I mean, there's a lot of players who've basically unlocked everything that the game has to offer, so it needs something new to keep the player base constantly coming back. But for those players who are taking their time with the grind, I'm talking about the players who are not like myself, who have just hours and hours to play the game. I'm sure there's still plenty of content to grind for. So yeah, first Descendant, A+, free to play, looter shooter. I don't make enough videos on this game. I think I'm really going to start diving into the patch notes, and every time we get a major update in the game, I think I'm going to make a video on that going forward, just because I'm really enjoying it, and when I really enjoy a game like this, I actually want to make content on it. I mean, I did this video basically entirely unscripted, so I kind of know what I'm talking about at this point, and it feels good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys do want to see videos on patch notes and the updates that we get in the future, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this one a thumbs up too, as it really helps with the algorithm. And yeah, that's it from me, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.